How you all doing? I hope you had a great week of trading and starting up your month like really good. Okay, so I'm gonna try to make this quick. All right, so if you're a new subscriber, you're at the right place. I mean, if you're a new viewer, you're at the right place. Just make sure you subscribe. Okay, and please, if you always enjoy what I put out there, it's free, right? The payment that you can just make is just click the like, all right, and comment what you like about the breakdown that I do and the analysis that I do getting into the week. Okay, so with that, let's dive in. Let's jump in. I'm still gonna give you some good things today. Just watch to the end. Some I don't know. All right, so I have been calling this move and we've been going with it. All right, I've been calling this move and we've been going with it. So I've called out from here to this level, which is a massive pips, massive. All right, so we finally hit that point from this level to here. So, and I'm still holding. I don't know if I'm still greedy, but I'm still holding my trade off here. I want to see what's going to happen if NAS want to continue going higher or not. But we can see that we're already creating liquidities here, which price could possibly come back for later on and take it and continue going higher, right? So, but we will get there. I will lead you all through all this movement that it's gonna happen through the next ones. I will lead you through it. Okay. So let's touch on what I talked about last week, because last week was a little bit ups and down on price. There was some ups and downs on price. So let's still have this our all-time high marked out here, because I'm still going to talk about it, how we trade into it. All right. So going to talk about how we trade into it and how I cut this buys here and how I called it out in my free Telegram channel. So if you want to join my free Telegram channel, you can comment and let me know and I will send you the link. All right. Okay. Right now, so price was at this level last week. We were at this level last week, and I mentioned that though my interest is still here, but I want to see what price wants to do. Okay. We're already having an inversion fair value gap here, which was very tricky. All right, we're already having an inversion fair value gap there, which was very tricky. So I wanted to see if price wants to push down here a little bit to sweep this lows, but if it's coming for this, that means it's going to come for this once. That is what I had in mind. If it's coming for this, it's going to come for this once. But whichever one it wants to come to, right? I trade what is in front of me, what I see in front of me, right? I trade what is in front of me. What I see at the moment, I go with it. So at this moment, I can see a bearish signature here, all right? But I'm not going to jump into it because I'm not trying to swing this. I'm not going to jump into it. I want to see what is happening on lower time frame. Getting into the week, what's actually happening, right? So because if you can see here, this candle here, it's the order block, all right? If we close above it, it becomes the order block. But for now, we didn't close above it. We're just here playing around, all right? So let's drop down to lower time frame and see. Even on 4 hour, you can see we have this massive bearish candles all lined up here. So we're still bearish, okay? And looking at here, we have this fair value gap here, which price hasn't actually closed above it. If you close above it, then we can start thinking of the bullish move, all right? Because again, we swept a liquidity here. Though I don't usually look at other markets to find SMT. I hardly do that because sometimes if I look for SMT, I might see some SMT up here, see some down here, see some like I just prefer to just focus on the market that I'm trading. Whatever it gives me, I take it like that. You understand? That is how I trade it. So if not, I could have seen the SMT. But if I'm looking for SMT here, I could have seen one again up here because I later looked and saw SMT here, SMT here, SMT all over everywhere. You understand? Confuses the shit out of me. So that's why I don't trade SMT like that. Okay, so now we're looking at this, right? There was something that I saw here that made me took a little buy, pushing up to this fair value gap. Then let's look at the main move that later happened. Okay, here was a little bit choppy. I stayed out. I stayed out of this trade, but trust me, with me seeing it happening like this now, when next it happen next time, I'm not staying out. I know what to do next time. All right. So we're building experience on this trade. So looking at this now, we already have a fair value gap, inversion fair value gap. That's telling me bearish weakness already. And plus, we had a sweep here with this. That's already telling me bearish weakness. All right. So price going up. What am I looking for? Looking for a point of entry, point of interest, where I will trade to, though I took some scalp buy here, but that doesn't count. So I'm looking for the trade to these two levels here. So I'm doing a breakdown of the trade that I took last week. The two trades that I took on NASDAQ last week, that counts. This one here doesn't count, all right? So that counts. That is educational, all right? Because this, I just took this trade and want to see price come back to closing side here bearish. I'm just going to close my trade. So sometimes I just do that, risking very little what doesn't even make sense to risk. I just risk it. I just want to see how it happened. Then when it happened, then I will see how it happened. Then next time I will know how to trade it. You understand? Sometimes you just pay this market to learn something from it. You understand? Pay it. Just pay it some little amount just to learn something. All right? Okay, so now we have this point of interest, right? Then I have to drop down lower time frame to see what's actually happening. Okay, lower time frame. All right. So we had this price pull back down into it, pull back up, pull back up. So whichever entry model you're using, I'm not here to talk about entry model. Whatever entry model you're using, you can find something. All right. So looking at here, we already have an inversion, right? But we still have this bearish candles, which we didn't close above it. All right, we didn't close above it. So price kept on going, came back down, went back up, was a little bit choppy, but I had my entries off these levels here. I have my entries off these levels on 5 minute. I have my entries off this level. I don't want to talk about this entry model, all right, not now, but I'm still working on it. So I have my entries off this level here. Let's go on 5 minute. I think I shared this, actually shared this entry model. I think I shared this, but I can't really remember. But okay, this is not the one that I shared. All right, I tested this out here. It worked, and on the next one I shared it. Okay, so price went up. This was my first trade, and if you looked here, if you look behind, you can see for those trading market structure shifts, you can see there's a market structure shift here, and price came back down. I don't know how many percent where you, I don't trade market structure shift, but I don't know how many percent you do to take your trade. But let's see. Let's see how many percent it came back to. I think it came back to 50. Yeah, it tapped on 50, and boom, that was your entry, right? Because I keep hearing market structure shift traders keep saying they didn't find entry. So this was the entry here. Boom, went up. All right. So now price kept on going up, kept on going up. So as soon as we got to this external, of course, you take your trade, you take your profit from there. So let's go to the next day. Let me show you this other trade where I'm sure so many traders were looking for sell, which was very, very, very wrong. Based on what I explained down here, if price wanted to continue going lower, okay, it will give you that signature that it wants to go lower. All right. If price wants to go lower, it will give you the signature that it wants to go lower. If it wants to go higher, you will see, based on any strategy that you're trading, you will see there. What's wrong with this thing? You will see there. It will be there. All right. So just like this now, we are all-time high. Of course, many wants to short this all-time high because they're expecting all-time high to start dropping, blah, blah. No, you trade what you see at the moment. When it's time to short, we're going to short also. All right. When it's time, it's not clear, we stay away when it's not clear. All right. So looking at this, I came into the market in the morning and I saw this. I'm like, okay, we're at all-time high. Price is already closing above here. On 1 hour, what do we have? Look inside here. We actually have a tiny fair value gap here. We have a fair value gap already. All right. If you want to sell this thing, wouldn't it be like this? Wouldn't it be like this with a fair value gap, right? Let me tell you something. To be with a fair value gap, right? Then why don't you make it like this also with a fair value gap? Then if you don't trust this fair value gap, you wait for another break to the upside. If you also don't trust this one, you wait for another break. Then you catch your entry, maybe from somewhere here or so. You catch your trade, or maybe you wait for this to sweep and you catch your trade. You understand? So I was waiting for two things inside here, but what I did was that I marked out the whole other block. All right, the whole other block here. I marked everything out. Like, okay, this is where I want to catch my trade. This is where I want to catch my buy going up. I want to catch the buy here going up. Okay, which I shared in my Telegram channel here. Look at it. Say if NAS want to keep going higher, this is where you want to see it go higher from. And what later happened was massive move, massive move from that level. No, this is not actually that level. This was the second call out that I did on Friday. Call out after call out. Yeah, this was it. Price came to it, tapped it, and there was another confirmation. This was the entry. So this was it, and okay, let me talk about the entry. We'll go down on lower time frame. It's the same signatures that you will look for. You want to look for an order block, or a fair value gap, or market structure shift, whichever one you're trading. Right? Price came back to that level and started creating order blocks. Started creating other blocks here. You can see the other block here. Started creating this other block, and what happened? That was it. That was it. Nothing else. That was it. You just have to trust it. You just have to trust it. All right. How do you? Okay. Let's not talk about that. I'm gonna make separate videos for my entry. I have just one entry model. I have one entry model. That's what I have. Just one entry model. Once I see it, I'm taking my trade off it, right? Which is an order block. All right. So we went off here, and the rest was history. If you also go on 5 minutes, let's see how it played on 5 minutes. Okay, you can see on 5 minutes. Let's say you didn't take this one on 5 minutes, but you waited for this. You can see there was an order block here on 5 minutes. After we closed above this bearish candle, this is an order block. Price came back into it. It doesn't matter how deep it comes into it. You understand? That is your point of entry. You can either refine it or go with the drawdown. You understand? Refine it or go with the drawdown. Or when you saw this order block, you know, sometimes I do tell new students, new beginners that if you refine your entry too much, you're likely to lose that trade. You're likely to miss that movement. All right? Yeah, there's advantage and disadvantage of refining and not refining. Okay? So you might refine your trade, waiting for a market structure shift, waiting for price to pull back and this and that price will just leave you, because we're trading the momentum of higher time frame. Sometimes price doesn't have time to do all those things on lower time frame. You understand? So sometimes you don't even need to refine it. Just like here, we don't really need any refinements here. Once price get here, you know that this move is gonna be big, so you can risk all this in your trade. It's just 65 pips to catch hundreds of pips. Though we don't have target here, but we know that price is gonna be like ×2 or ×3 off this level, because this level that we're talking about here now, actually, this thing is already like a lecture that I'm giving you guys a lecture. Okay, let me go on monthly or weekly. Look at where we are. We are above this. So if this was lower time frame, though we haven't closed yet, but there will be a reaction. Okay, so if this was lower time frame, and you have to risk all this, right, to make 2-to-1 or whatever you want, 2-to-1, right? I think it's 2-to-1 or 1-to-1 even. Then you want to trade on lower time frame common. Though there will be a pullback later, depending on how this close. Okay, we're not talking about this now. When we get there, we'll talk about it. But I'm just giving you something. I don't want to lose you there. Why you can just take your trade there, and if you lose, you lose. That is it. You just make sure that you don't lose. When you lose 10 times, you still have your account. All right, still have your account, because this is a long term game that we're playing here. Right? So you can see there was many entries here. There was 1 hour entry, 15 minutes, 5 minutes. That is the lowest that I go. Okay. So then price started pushing massively. And they were still looking for sells. So FOMC, right? FOMC, this was my point of interest for FOMC here. This was my point of interest, right? I think this was my point of interest, if I'm not mistaken. What happened here? I think this was my point of interest. Let me look at it. Let me look for it. FOMC, FOMC. These are some of the buys that I took on Friday. FOMC. Okay, yeah, this was my point of interest for FOMC. Yeah, this was it. And price didn't come back to the FOMC, and I still held that point of interest. So this was the point of interest, and price didn't come to it. But you can see here we started creating more inducements here, more inducements here, inducements. Started creating all those inducements. Then what happened? And the next day, price came to it. This was my call out on Friday, and price came down to it, and poof. You can see from here, if you went on lower time frame, for 15 minutes, the entries were all there. Entries were all there. All right. This was the first entry somewhere here. This was the first entry somewhere here. First entry, second entry, then price started doing its thing. And traders were still looking for sells here. I can bet on that. We're still looking for sells. How will you look for sells with a structure like this? Where is price coming from? Price coming from here. No matter what it does here, I held my trade. I'm actually still holding a little bit of runner here. Just want to see if you want to continue going higher, or if you want to continue going lower. So I hope you learned a lot from this breakdown that I did. Okay, you have to trust the high time frame order flow. That is what you have to do. You have to trust the high time frame order flow. Okay, trust the high time frame order flow. So now let's get into what are we expecting on NASDAQ next. All right. So what are we expecting on NASDAQ now? Let me see. Let me go on weekly. Let's do it weekly, because monthly hasn't closed yet. All right. So there's no need going into. Last month has closed quite all right. Right. Last month has closed, which this is the candle, but this next one hasn't closed yet. So there's nothing much. When this one closed bullish, then we want to look for more bullish runs. All right. So looking at this becomes our first point of interest. Getting into next week. Now, let me see. Don't worry. My analysis has advanced. It has advanced. It's a couple of 2 weeks. So let me see. You start seeing something advanced here now. Okay. This is an order block. I have to zoom in to make sure that it's an order block that is likely to hold price pushing up higher. All right. So, okay. So now we have this on the weekly. That is telling us bullish, right? So let's get it out. So looking at here, we have a strong support, which is also what? An order block. This is a huge order block. So even if you mark it out like this, you're not wrong. Okay? Even if you mark out this level and you're waiting for your time frame alignment to come align and go up, you're not wrong. I'm going to show you many ways that you can mark out this and still get the same results. All right. So we have this. This can also be an inducement. All right. So when price come here and we don't get that reaction to buy, this can also act as another point of interest. All right. The low can also be a point of interest. How many times have you seen it happen? That's happened multiple times. All right. Can also see. I'm always gonna make these videos at the end, right? After I talk about my weekly review, talk about it at the end, so that if you stay tuned to the end, bro, you're gonna capture something. And trust me, my analysis has changed. Not like that it's changed, it has advanced over a couple of weeks that I saw these things happen. Remember, I only started paying more attention to NASDAQ from this level here down to here. Hasn't been that long. You understand? That is where I started paying more attention to higher time frame, analyzing it. Before I was lost on lower time frame. Around where, I can't even remember, but this is where I started. I remember everything from here to here. Remember how it all happened. So experience has been built. Okay, so now this is my weekly analysis. I'm still very bullish on NASDAQ. All right, let's look at the daily and see if we can find some points of interest where price could react from first. But anything that we are looking here, you can see that weekly stuff lines up with this, and you can see that we also have a sweep here. All right, we have a sweep here. So I don't want to see NASDAQ go below this level. All right, once you start doing this, bro, I think I'm just gonna stay away, because that is not what, just like the way this went below this level, I had to stay away because I don't understand what it was doing, what it wanted to do. But I just wanted to see more confirmation to push price lower, right? Which didn't happen, and I had to buy. So now, looking at this daily, the same thing that happened on that 1 hour that I explained to you, that is the same thing that I'll be expecting on daily, all right? So remember, we see that monthly hasn't really closed. So daily might want to play around. We still have a few more days before this month's close. Might still want to play around, then still come back down to this level or dip into this, because we're dealing with the monthly candle. So it's small wick can be something big. You get what I mean, right? Like a small wick can be some big movements. You get it? Can be some big movement. So we allow it to come to even into this. You understand? So yep. So now again, I have this point of interest here, which is number one, and we have this point of interest, but this is going to be a long-term point of interest. I'm not expecting price to come down here anytime soon. All right, I'm not expecting price to come down here anytime soon. So this is where I'm expecting it. If it wants to continue that, because I want to see more inducements being created here. I want to see that. I want to see more inducements being created this before it come for this. All right, just don't want to see it like, oh, by beginning of the next month you want. No. I want to see it take its time. Take your time. Maybe close more up there, then come down here, just like as it did here, like as it did all this time. You understand? I want to see something before it comes back down, right? Don't want to see it come back here very soon, because once it start coming here very soon, maybe this is a sweep on higher time frame, right? Because remember, we're trading higher time frame. So now, this is my point of interest. Let's look at 4 hour. Do we have anything on 4 hour? So looking at 4 hour, what I can only see that we have on 4 hour is this candle here. It's only what I see on 4 hour. This candle. I think price closed above it. So, and we're getting into Monday. So 4 hour wouldn't really tell us that direction the way it is now. But the daily and the weekly, we can see that, okay, we have huge points of interest where price could drop into, which is daily, and continue going higher if it wants to continue going higher. All right. So remember, everything that I've talked about here is for educational purpose only. For educational purpose, I'm just educating you, not asking you to go take your real money to go into the market and trade whatever I've talked about. For educational purpose and for my own fun. You can see I've been having fun here. So if you want to trade, you can go meet your financial advisor and talk to him. You guys can sit down and watch my videos, and he will tell you what to do and what not to do. I can't tell you what to do. I can't even tell myself what to do. You understand, this market, talk less of telling you what to do. So don't ever take my words for putting in money. Go do your research, do your thing, and I wish you good luck this week and for the rest of the days in this month, year. Okay, so I think there's nothing else I haven't talked about. Gold breakdown. I'm gonna do gold breakdown maybe the coming week, right? But this week I'm more focused on Nasdaq because I see big opportunity on Nasdaq. So I want to grab them, right? If you want to grab it, I contact your financial advisor. If you don't have one, go look for one. Don't trade this market without a financial advisor. That's the advice that I'm gonna give you. That's the advice that I'm gonna give you. Don't trade without a financial advisor because I'm not one. All right. Okay. So yeah, guys, I think that is it for today. I hope you guys learned something from this breakdown and from the little teaching that I did here, which was for educational purpose, which was for fun, which was for fun, all right, and for educational purpose, all right, just educating you to learn how this market move, all right. So when you get your financial advisor, it's gonna be easier for you to know how to invest your money in it, all right. All right, guys, enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll speak to you very, very soon again.